on the exterior. So all the PSD parts, all the fairings. My buddy bought both the calipers. Same person bought all the fairings and stuff, bought the bracket, the PSD parts, PSD bar clamp. So all this stuff has to come off. It is 10 o'clock at night. I'm just gonna get started on this, and then tomorrow when I get off work, I'm gonna go ahead and just get it all off. So it's gonna be a little bit of a pain for me to like keep this all together in a sense, because I'm losing the axle adjusters, I'm losing the brake caliper, I'm losing the bar clamp. I may have another set of bar clamps that I could put on just to hold it still, but I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, so this, how it's strapped down isn't gonna be able to be strapped down anymore. So I'm gonna have to get a little creative with it. Should be fine, but I'm gonna pull this stuff apart and I'll check back in with you guys in a bit. All right, it is 11:20 and I'm gonna go to sleep, but I got a bunch of this stuff off. I got it tore down. I still got to do the front end. That's going to be a pain just because it is. Other than that, yeah, got to pull the brakes off still. Got to pull the front brake off. Pull the lines out. All the lines are sold. But yeah, it's coming along. I got to go through the motor and just make sure everything's good before I sell it. So none of the electronics are going to get disconnected. None of that stuff, so I can start it, run it, make sure it's good, and then I can get it sold for somebody. So it's gonna be a little rough because I can't sell a shock unless I find my stock shock, which I have no idea where it is. So I can't sell that until I get to all this, but I think I have a way I can get away with it. So I think I'm just gonna prop up the rear of the frame, and then I'll get rid of the shock, the rear swing arm. I can take and pull the suspension. I gotta pull the headlight off, the front fender still. That's all gotta go. But yeah, there's just a ton of stuff that still needs to get done. This is just a quick little, needed to get down here and get this took apart as fast as possible because I need to get this shipped out, and I told them it could be a day or two. So yeah, so tomorrow I'll continue getting all this stuff off. When I get off work, I should be able to get it all off and ready to roll. End of an era, little sad, no more little bikes for now, but yeah. So see you guys in a second. All right, so it is 8:30 and it's the next day. I am going to focus on getting the wheel off, getting the brakes out, trashing this fender, and then move to the front and figure out how I'm gonna keep this thing standing up. I mean, granted it's on that, but somebody wants a swing arm, so I'm gonna move on and get all these things tidied up and pulled apart. I'm not sure if I showed this, but yeah, I've been feeling a little bit under the weather this evening. Stomach is bubbling. I've been eating really good too, and so I went and got a sandwich to put some bread in to kind of soak whatever's in my stomach. Hopefully that will help. But yeah, I'm gonna try and get all the stuff pulled off that goes to this customer, and then I'll start pulling the motor out and making sure everything's good with that. Alrighty, so all this stuff is now off. Got the calipers separated, cleaned up. Those are going to Jay, and everything else was going, it's all over there. So now I probably am not gonna get to this till this weekend, but I'm gonna drop the motor and I'm just gonna check the jug. I have another piston, so I'll probably just put the other piston in it just to sell it so it's nice and fresh. And then I think I'm gonna keep my head because I have a factory head and factory cams. So I'm not gonna keep it, but I'll sell it separately because this setup as it is really not cheap. So I'd like to make it more affordable so somebody can literally buy everything. I'll sell the throttle body separate, I'll sell the head and cams separate, and just sell it as a stock 300 motor with everything else. So it won't have the A-Racer igniter, but I'll sell it with the A-Racer. But I'll give them options to be able to buy all this stuff, obviously. But then I gotta take my keyless off of the harness, sell the shock. The bummer thing is I can't, like, somebody wants the swing arm, so I gotta basically take all this stuff off. Like, it's just a pain. So and the fork got scratched, so I'll probably rewrap that. But I do know who these are probably going to, so maybe not. I don't know. I'm gonna put them out for probably 400, 450. So pretty good deal. They got the Racing Bros internals. Forks are about 250, and these are 3 or 350. So about $600 if you bought forks and bought those. Or somebody can buy this and sell the actual their forks. So I'm gonna sell them with triples and everything. Oh, I gotta get the axle sliders off. That's the last thing. So that's gonna be fun because this whole thing is ugh. All right. Well, I'll do that tomorrow. And then it's only 10:15, but I am just like not feeling very well. So I'm gonna clean up all this stuff and start wrapping up what needs to be wrapped up. There's a couple things that are wrapped that there's just lifting in some areas, so I'm either gonna rewrap those 2 little pieces, or I'm just gonna heat it up and fix it because it's not like super bad. It's just like that one spot on the headlight, you can't really see it. You kind of see it's pulling up on the inside there. So that can just be heated up and then fixed. And then on the other side of the fender there, it's kind of coming up. So that should be able to be fixed. And then the tail section, there's a spot that needs to be fixed. But yeah, all this stuff needs to be cleaned up. Got to put it in a box, and I think this box is way too small. But this same guy says he wants the swing arm. It has this right side kickstand, but the foot of it's missing, so that'll be up to him. He said that he might want some other things too, so yeah, we'll see. I don't know what else he might want. Hoping by this weekend to have this all done and ready to ship. Yeah, that'll be able to be done. As long as I feel fine. I don't like not feeling good. Oh, and I have that steering damper. I'm probably gonna sell for like 150 bucks. So, and I gotta run and get bolts for the PSD bar clamp because I had to change them. Actually, I think this is one of them right here. I think this is both of them. How did I spot these from across the room? I have no idea. Those might not be them, but there might be something right there. But a little bit of a bummer. My buddy hit me up about these brakes, about these 2 right here. Jay wanted them, and then literally 10 minutes later, this guy was like, hey, I want to buy all this stuff. And I was like, well, it's not going to come with the brakes. I don't think he's too worried about it. He didn't really care. He seemed like pretty chill about it. But I was just like bummed for him in a sense because he's not going to get those with this. I didn't make any difference with the money, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, I'm gonna try and clean this stuff up and then set aside what I need to wrap and take that upstairs a little bit later. Oh, this is kind of like for the past 6 years, it's kind of been like my life is groms. It's a little sad almost, but I mean, this is not my first grom, so it's not like, I don't have that type of attachment, and this is all coming apart. And normally this time of year I do a build, like so I would take all this stuff apart and rewrap it, and maybe buy a couple new parts and change some things up, but I'm just kind of over it for the time being. I just want to move on, I want to up my credit, and then gonna get a car and do like a light build on that. I don't know how to feel, if I feel sad or happy or distraught. Like, I don't really know how to feel about this. I know I want this done, but my energy level, like once I get off work and come to do this, I'm just like, ugh, so tired. But I just know there's close to $5,000, if not more, just sitting there right now. So that money is definitely useful. That will pay for my car and extra, so that will be great. Enough of my talking. Yeah. All right, it's 2 days later, so I have the bike charging, and I wanted to show you guys it runs. So I wanted to show you guys what this is running. Alright, simple. Bike runs, works great. But before I sell stuff, I always go through it. So I'm going to get the jack underneath here and then jack up the whole motor, pull it out. I'm gonna pop the head off because I have a stock head that I'm gonna put on it, and then I'm going to put the stock piston back in it. So I'm trying to see if I kind of screwed myself, but no, the motor's still cold. The exhaust is a little warm, but it'll cool down pretty fast. Other than that, this thing is gonna go back in hopefully by tomorrow. I still need to swing by and get some bolts. I'm gonna see if they're open right now and I can run and go get some. It might be too late. This box is pretty much full right now. I have another one of these boxes that I'm gonna fill with the rest of the stuff and a couple pieces that are wrapped up already. I'm gonna try and go get some bolts right now. Good news is motor's out. Came out real easy, of course. I've done this so many times. Bad news is the 349 is no more. The piston, seen better days. Rings are actually perfectly fine, which is super strange. And then this side got a little hot too. So I don't know what happened. Yeah, inside the bore, it's always read perfect to air fuel ratio, so I really don't know what killed it. That down there is the good, both heads are good. I have a stock head and I have a stock piston. That down there is the $700, $800 head that I had done. It's in perfect working order. Excellent. So that can go up for sale. I'm gonna post that this week, or this weekend. And since my top end was perfectly fine prior, I'm going to put it back in. So we got Freshy and Freshy. And then this is the stock head, stock cams. That head has Takigawa cams. So that's like well over $1,000 right there. We got our exhaust. We got the parts that have already been purchased and ready to ship out. Tomorrow, it's 11 o'clock, I have to go to the gym in the morning. Sorry I haven't shown any of this. You guys seen all this already anyways. So I figured it would just be like, I'm just gonna show you what's been going on, what's happening. And yeah, so everything inside is perfectly fine. Should probably not let the cam chain hang out like that. But yeah, it's a perfectly working 286, no cams, just stock. It has heavy duty clutch springs in it and then a couple dress up pieces. That is it. So the lucky winner, aka whoever decides to buy it, will get a completely stock 286 I think I'm gonna post the whole setup with wiring harness, pretty much everything for 42 or less offer, because realistically every part that you're gonna need is gonna cost around all that. Anyways, I'm thinking and trying to talk all at the same time. Tomorrow this gets all put back together, gonna clock those rings, assembly lube, assemble, and back in there, start her up, get a video of it on my phone and for you guys, and then it will get posted for sale. Then I have the bazooka shock. I think somebody wants to buy this. I already have the frame pretty much sold to one of two people. The front end, one person wants. Yeah, wheels are mine. I'm gonna post this tank with the sale, but I'll sell it separately. I think for 4,200 bucks, if you get the tank, the pump, everything, you won't get the A-Racer, you won't get this throttle body, you'll get the stock one. This is the bigger one. I think that'll be a good deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and pack it in, go to sleep, go to the gym, and then right after the gym, I'll see you guys. So